The inside of Coates.
Barton gets too heavily involved.
And that's Whitehead and Coates.
Very good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the Geoff Page Engineering Super Classic Prix 1999 Formula 4 1600 Championship with the Virtual Reality Racing Club. I'm going to start by saying a big thank you to Jack for standing in, Jack Oliphant for standing in last week. I did catch some of the broadcast, but not all of it. But thanks, Jack. Great job as ever. And while we're on thank yous, a massive thank you to Mr. Wayne Pearson, who is joining us today from Heroes of FF 1600. Wayne, what a pleasure to catch up with you. We've already been having a good old nostalgic natter, haven't we, before we came to air?
We have, right? We've got some words left after all that.
Oh, we'll have loads. We'll have loads. How are you doing anyway?
I'm good, thanks. This is a bit of a step into the unknown for me, so you're going to have to hold my hand. I'm sure we'll be fine. I'm looking forward to a couple of, or three good slipstreaming races, to be honest, on this layout.
Yeah, it should be good. I mean, the championship so far has been really good. Probably one of the best, if not the best championship that we've had for VRRC for some time, which is great. The number of entrants, the number of new drivers has been absolutely superb. And we're at Snetterton circuit. I don't get to commentate, or a configuration I don't get to commentate on very often, which is the 200, which is proper. I haven't got that useless wiggly bit in the middle, which I'm pleased about today. Actually, I don't mind the 300. It's okay. We're being sped along because I spent too much time talking. I got ticked off by Mr. Hayden for too much waffle. Scott Bugner leads the championship coming into this evening from Gabe Norse. Kieran Haynes, driver of the round last week, is third from Oliver Gibson and Jack Smith. Luke Cooper in sixth from Lee Piercy, Andy Dorman, Leon Frost and Rich Hayden wrapping up our top 10. We'll have a look at the 11 to 20 here. Miles Ragg from Thomas Potter got his first win of the campaign last week. Andy Carroll next up from Chris Blakey and Mason Turner. Mason had his first podium last week, so well done, Mason. Hopefully catch up with him a little bit later as well. Paul Laramie and Callum Enstone, 16th and 17th from Alex Forster, and Kenny Press with Christian Gillian wrapping up our top 20. So a little bit further down the order, looking to climb that ladder this week, Sam Walton and Ollie Atkins. Ollie got into the top 10 last week as well. Well done, Ollie. Cat Potter in 23rd from Daniel Heaps, who wasn't here last week, which is a shame. I hope Daniel's going to be back around and having a go. The young Irish driver, we missed him last week. Sam Gumbly next from Harry Irvin and Olavo Castro. Olavo having his best finish as well. 9th place for him in one of the races last Tuesday. George Harker had a great one as well. Best finish for him, 16th. Well done, George. 28th in the championship from Caden Cook and Aidan Ingram in 30th. So I think we might have a couple more drivers on the chart to look at. No, we don't, but we will go to team standings, which is led by Jack Smith and Oliver Gibson. Fair to say Ollie is the best scoring of the two brothers at the moment. I think we've yet to see the best of VRRC multi-champion Jack Smith, but they are leading the team championship from a very strong new pairing, Gabe Norse and Leon Frost. Shake and Bake. Team Carbug are in third. Andy Carroll and championship leader Scott Bugner with Swift Cooper, Luke Cooper and Miles Ragg. Regulars on the podium in fourth from Swift Cooper Jr., Kieran Haynes and Mason Turner, who were out racing for real over the weekend. We'll talk more about that anon. VRRC Sim Team next, Lee Pearson, Rich Hayden from Automatic Racing, Fast and Faster. Eden Garage Motorsport, Andy Dorman running solo, and the top 10 completed by Book Aqua Racing, Christian Gillian and Ollie Atkins. So they are your team standings to consider as we move into 3 races here at Snetterton. But of course, this is all about bringing awareness, sure, to the VRRC side of things, but also bringing awareness to the Real World Championship, which will kick off in just a few weeks' time. And I think we're going to have a look at the schedule. But before we do that, we're going to do a quick rundown of last week's top 3. Scotty Bugner is the man at the top of the stack. He was gold last week from Ollie Gibson in second. Ollie getting a 6th, a 1st and an 8th. Scott second and 5th. Kieran Haynes was next up. He's third in the championship, ninth, third, and a fourth, and also got the driver of the round. So well done to Kieran. He was only beaten to driver of the round by a Nat Swing by Scott Bugner in our first event, which was the Brands Hatch Grand Prix circuit. Those of you with memories that can cope with a gap of 4 weeks will remember. Here is the race calendar. April 12th, Brands Hatch Indy is the first one. I will be popping down to watch, so I'm really looking forward to having a relaxing and enjoyable day floating around doing the social bit. Then we go to Oulton, Silverstone, Donington Park, Snetterton 200 in August. That's where we are today virtually. Then Anglesey International, that's where we'll be virtually next week. And wrapping things up with the Brands Hatch Festival, which is sadly my only real world Formula 4 date thus far this year, but looking forward to working on that again with everyone. At Digitex TV, I think, who are booked to do the filming once again for the festival. So very much looking for that. I think that is the majority of the housekeeping going into our latest round complete. And what else do we do? We like to have a little bit of a hot lap, don't we, before we go? And it's Jack Smith who has done the honours in terms of recording the hot lap once again. And we will get to have a look at how Jack negotiates the Snetterton circuit.
Yeah, it's nice to see this layout being used because, like you say, the longer layout, I'm like you, I'm not a big fan of it, but here we go.
So this iconic view and down into Riches. This is going to be a worry for me, certainly on the reverse grid racing, and we've got to change to race 3. The scary tree's still there, isn't it? You can look at the centre shot there as they come into the first part of the Montreal hairpin, but not going through all the shenanigans of the rest of it. We go past the Palmer exit and down the straight here. I still like to call it the Revit straight, but there we go. Old habits die hard, don't they, Wayne?
They certainly do.
This is an exciting thing here, under the bridge and through into the S's. So into the Brundle-Nelson complex. We're through Brundle, going through Nelson now, and then into Bomholt. So many great places to watch around Snetterton, and I do get the chance to watch test days and practice when I'm working, and I tend to watch on the inside of Coreham, where we're coming into now. And this is such a fantastic circuit, whether you've got an onboard view or an outfield or infield view as a spectator. That grandstand there is one of the places I normally sit. Negotiating Murray's corner, last corner on the lap, and along centre straight, very slightly uphill now to break the beam and set the benchmark time here on Snetterton 200. Best lap in practice so far, 1:15.048. Jack Smith quicker than that on his hot lap. So Kieran Haynes is quickest at the moment in the testing session. But they're the kind of times that we are looking at. And as I say, great that we are visiting the 200 circuit later in the campaign for real. Is that your home circuit, Wayne?
No, my home circuit is Mallory Park.
You were saying, yes, of course.
Our nearest one, yeah. Snetterton's a bit of about 2.5 hours for me, but not tonight. That's one good thing.
I haven't been to Mallory for years, but we're going up. My son's doing his ARDS course in April, so we're going up for that. I'm very much looking forward to
Okay, with the motorsport school.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah, really excited to go and visit the place again. And yeah, lovely people, the motorsport school. So if anyone on the VRRC side who hasn't got a race license, or any of the youngsters that are coming of age to race juniors, then have a word with the Edwards family at the Racing Motorsport School there, and they will look after you, I'm sure. Yeah, great school, really good school, and lovely people. So I was looking to try and find my revised notes for this evening. We do have 2 partial reverses, and I was intimating on the hot lap that we've got a slightly changed format this evening, which I believe is that we've got not having a reverse grid for race 3. I kind of like this, Wayne, because we've had 3 reverse grid races all the way through the campaign so far. Going into the second half, we're now kind of treating races 1 and 2 a little bit like a festival, isn't it? Because if you do well in races 1 and 2, you're going to be on the on the front of the grid for race 3, and that's very Formula Ford, isn't it?
It is. That's a good carrot to dangle, isn't it? Consistency and fast lap times will pay off for you.
I think they will. It's Kenny Press that assumes pole position for us this evening with Christian Gillian alongside. Love the little pan there that Steve has done, and Callum Enstone in green and grey in third position on the grid from Alex Forster. Any of these drivers capable of getting a good run and getting away, getting a win, or indeed a podium, or I should say podium, or indeed a win over the course of this. As I think we've got 30 seconds to go before we kick off. I haven't got all my windows open on my data, so I need to do that as well. In fact, I'll wait till things calm down on the first lap before we start attending to phones and things. But yeah, Kenny Press, who does all our liveries, looking good. There is Miles Ragg in the Cooper team colours, the blue rear part of the car and the white front. So Miles Ragg, who's been on the podium a couple of times, radical front runner, looking good. But it's Christian Gillian and Kenny Press on the front of the grid. Kenny's had some good opening shots as we get away here. Callum Enstone looking up the inside as they go down into Riches for the first time. But it's Kenny Press making a good start. I've got to say, do you know what? This is as good. It's a really good representation of the track. We're looking at them as they go through turn one. All good so far. One driver going a little bit wide and getting crossed up. But that was really good. Oh, well, I was going to say really good behaviour on turn one as they come up into Montreal for the first time and flick onto the Revit straight. A couple of cars tangling towards the back, and that might have upset some of the championship front runners, Wayne, but by and large pretty good. And here it is. This is why we love Formula Ford, 4 wide.
Yes, I think one of the Swift Cooper cars got tripped up there between 1 and 2, so we'll see what happens there. But yeah, you've got a couple of good straights here to slipstream, bump draft, however you want to put it, and I'm sure these boys and girls will be getting in the tow. That's what you've got to do around Snetterton.
Oh, they will. This is view from Paul Laramie, one of the VRRC regulars. I think we can probably call all the newcomers regulars now, as they've done a half campaign or a half season with us so far. But it's Laramie chasing Callum Enstone. As a look down the inside, Mason Turner is in third place. Wanted to thank Luke Cooper for sending me some driver information through. That's really old school, isn't it? Sending driver notes through. Really appreciated that, and we'll come on to that in a minute as Laramie goes on the inside of Callum Enstone. Paul with a little bit more VRRC experience than Callum, and he's being slipstreamed by Chris Blakey in the yellow and black car, looking to try and go down through turn one. I'll tell you what, that's a really great angle of turn one there. It looks like a real wide sweeper. You don't often get that from broadcast cameras.
Definitely not. It really opens it up, doesn't it? And as we say this, there's a 1 second lead already for Alex Forster, who's making hay while the sun shines here.
I think that was Miles Ragg going off in the background, so Miles dropping off, which is a pity. He was heading up towards podium pace as we get the 4 wide jostle going down the Bentley Straight and under the Snetterton Bridge into the S's. Forster from Press, Mason Turner. There is Scott Bugner, the championship leader, down in 8th at the moment, and chasing the man we saw doing the hot lap, which is Jack Smith, but Scott Bugner in front of him at the moment. So Jack and Scott racing hard. Just going to use this stage of the evening to try and work out who's here and who isn't here. I wanted to see if we've got Oliver Gibson. Can't see Oliver anywhere, so maybe Oliver's having another week off. Which, oh no, beg your pardon, Oliver's in 9th place. Sorry, Oliver. I'm sure his family at the Hop Cavern will be shouting at me saying, he's there, and there he is indeed. With Forster leading from Mason Turner. Jack Smith in 9th we pick up on momentarily. Leon Frost, another regular front runner, down behind him, but a little bit of a gap back to Leon at the moment. I think is about to be passed by Ollie Atkins. He was indeed by Ollie Atkins. And the thing that comes across here is just how quick these cars are around here.
Yeah, it's perfectly suited really, Snetterton, for Formula Fords. I'm just looking at the times and all the positions, and I think Kieran Haynes got tagged on the first lap. And Luke Cooper is down towards the bottom of the sheet as well. He's in 29th. So I think he got caught up in something on lap 1.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a shame. I incorrectly said that Luke Cooper was an ever-present in the top 10 when I was last commentating a couple of weeks ago on this, as we ride on board with Thomas Potter, who's passed by Chris Blakey, having a good old battle there. Thomas getting his first win of the campaign last week, and Scott Bugner goes through on the inside. Very neat move by Scott Bugner. This is a really good... What I love about this championship, I mean, VRRC do a lot of tin top stuff and haven't shied away from it. It's the wrong... Oh, Thomas Potter diving back down the inside to get back at the championship leader. I think he's got that move done, Wayne.
That was a lunge. But I think everybody's okay. Yes, they are. So that was a proper pin your ears back and go for it, wasn't it?
Yeah, very definitely was. And the point I was going to make was there's a lot of tin top championships in VRRC, which is great. But this is a different dynamic for the youngsters, particularly as someone flies off onto the grass, in that they can't just bundle into the side. It's not a matter of rubbing. They've got to respect the wheel space and the open wheels of their competitors. So this gives them, to my mind, a more of a proper learning experience. And we're going to see now what Scott Bugner can do on Lee Pearcey.
Yeah, you start interlocking wheels, and that's a recipe for disaster in these cars. But it does happen quite often, as it's very easy to do.
So it's Forster from Turner. Paul Laramie is next up with Chris Blakey in 4th place. And I was going back to the comment that Luke Cooper sent through, that Mason Turner and Kieran Haynes were racing in the SRK Junior Karting Championship at Castle Combe at the weekend. Both of them won all 3 heats, and then through that great set of qualifying races came together to battle it out in the final. And it was Mason that came through with the win, with Kieran Haynes in 2nd place. Mason in P2 here is starting to close the gap here on Alex Forster. So Mason, on the back of a good weekend, heading to try and improve on his first podium last Tuesday, and looking for his first win potentially here.
Yeah, he's chipping away there. If he can just get into the toe, he's got half a chance of reeling him in. What we're looking at, 1.7. You know, he's in the ballpark. If he get a couple of get his head down for a couple of laps, he might be able to chip away at that and get onto the gearbox of Alex Forster.
He's putting a few tenths here and there, as you say. It's down to 1.6 now, and there is Mason Turner. So, you know, great weekend for him. And in fact, Alex Forster's gone off. That was the red and white car that we saw. So Forster disappears. Whether there was a server issue for him or not, I don't know. But he is gone. And Mason Turner is our leader from Paul Laramie. And of course, what we've seen is that he's pulled away from Paul Laramie here. And we'll get an idea. It's 1.5 seconds at the moment as they go through Murray's, with Chris Blakey 3rd, Scott Bugner in 4th place. Good points for Scott Bugner here in 4th position. And in previous rounds, he would have been, you know, yeah, I want the points, but bit of a clap on the back there on Lee Pearcey.
Checking out the ratios in front, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. Now, I didn't realise that Lee actually raced in Formula Ford and did the festival one year as well. Not in 1600, but I think in Z-Tex he was saying. But which was this is the great thing about it. Doesn't matter how long you're involved in racing, there's always something about someone's history that you can learn. And I was saying to you about Rick Shortall's book before we came to air, and there was so much in Rick Shortall's book that I didn't know, and I've been watching him since like 82, 83. Oh dear. Lee Pearcey on the back end again. Now, if those of you, when you joined us, will have seen the credits for people involved in the programme, including Ian Danaher, who's the Formula Ford 1600 Geoff Page Engineering Super Classic Championship Clerk of the Course. So he will be looking at that tomorrow morning with Rich Hayden and trying to work out whether there is a penalty needed for that contact. To be fair, one of the Legends drivers, Wayne, was saying last time out, one of the things with the Seto is that sometimes a little bit of server lag can cause that. So it's not always taken as being a driver deliberately bumping, and for sure Lee Pearcey wouldn't do that anyway.
No, and that sounds like a really good excuse to try and use on a race weekend, doesn't it?
I think they can look at the data, so...
Quite possibly. Yeah. It's not like years ago where you could get away with anything. Now you know, honestly, everything's got a parameter to it with data, and yeah, you can't hide.
It still makes me laugh when you see drivers queuing up to argue with the clerk. And the one thing I've learned over the years, you can never argue with a referee in football, and you can't really argue with a clerk in racing either. So, you know, I get why people do it because it's passion, but seriously, save your energy for something else.
Yes, it's it only ends up going one way, really, doesn't it? So you don't get many reversals.
And if you're getting shouted, it marks your card, doesn't it, as well?
Yes, you will get a little exclamation mark against your name, and it'll be it could be pulled against you in future races. So yeah, like you say, sometimes best to move on and have another go. Yeah,
I agree with that one. So it's we're looking at Paul Laramie in P2 at the moment. Mason Turner still out front. Paul Laramie's closed up 1.04. Laramie having a good run here. Chris Blakey in third from Lee Pearcey and Scott Bugner. There is Paul Laramie closing up He's got the gap down to under a second now. So Mason Turner, remember, one of our younger drivers, still doing some karting down at Castle Combe. This is going to be interesting, Wayne. See how he copes with the pressure. Now he knows he's got the lead, but he's also got someone chasing him down. So this could change the dynamic for him. Yeah,
this is when you're leading like that. You're half looking in your mirrors, obviously. But if you've got a bit of a gap, he's got about a second cushion. So yeah, but one little mistake and they'll be straight on the back of his gearbox very quickly. Sometimes at Snetterton, the curbs on the inside of the S's particularly, like the sausage curb there, if you hammer that in one of these cars, you're going to unsettle yourself pretty quickly. So a little mistake can cost a lot of time.
Yeah, I agree with that. Here we come into Corham, and the gap, well, it goes out again to 1 second. So Mason Turner is responding well to this at the moment. Chris Blakey looking good in third place. On my timing screen, on my iPad, just to the side, it says Cat Potter is 8th, just ahead of Kieran Haynes in 9th, but the timing tower not showing that, so I'm not quite sure which one to believe at the moment out of the pair of them. We do both have Mason Turner, Paul Laramie, and Jack Smith actually now up into third place on the iPad, as Cian Haig and Alex Forster have a coming together. So Alex Forster has got going again.
Yeah, I've got Catherine Potter in 10th. And Alex Forster has slipped down to, after his problem, he's actually fell off the page here on mine. So
to answer my question, to answer my question from earlier on, Daniel Heats is here, which is good news. Welcome Daniel back to the championship. He's in 12th place, just ahead of Luke Cooper. But Kieran Haynes has got the fastest lap and is in 9th place on the iPad. Steve, our producer, stroke director, will correct us if there is an issue with our top 3, but we'll continue to focus on what's happening here. There is Andy Carroll up ahead of Gabe Norse. Gabe, who was championship leader for 2 rounds, rounds 2 and 3, before Scott Bugner got him back last week. Gabe having a frustrating week with the 26th place. So I didn't see what happened in race 2, but that basically meant that was his drop score. And Gabe's going to have a look on the inside here. Multiple champion Gabe Norse of other iRacing, etc. championships, and he's putting big pressure on, but cleanly putting pressure here on Andy Carroll. This is going to be a fascinating battle to watch unfold here, Wayne, I think.
Yeah, he's just trying to get in the drag there to have a run into Riches, but not quite close enough. Probably on the end of the next straight down into the S's, he might have a chance.
See what he can do. Drops back momentarily, but all good points nonetheless for Gabe Norse in the top 10. He's going to be looking at Scott Bugner. He's going to be looking as well at Kieran Haynes to see how they score. Oliver Gibson 4th in the championship. So Ollie at the moment is where? Let's have a quick look to where Oliver Gibson is. Okay, so not really troubling the top point scorers at the moment, Oliver. And then we've got Jack Smith next up. So Jack on the mobile timing is showing 3rd place, and on the timing tower showing 6th. So I'm not quite sure which one to believe at the moment.
Yeah, I've got him in 3rd on my screen. Yeah, Mason Turner still doing a good, but it's down to under half a second. It was there for a second, just back up to 7/10. So it's sort of just yo-yoing at the front, but he's just keeping his nose in front at the moment.
Doing a grand job here, isn't he? Either way, either of these 2 drivers, it will be a first win off the campaign. And not that I want to put. This is where you learn about the curse of the commentator, Wayne. Should I ask you who's going to win out of these 2?
I wasn't aware I needed to bring 50 pence to throw into the hat and see who I was going to predict. And the lead's gone back out to over a second, so whatever you were going to say, it's fine, honestly.
The 3 yellow fellas are having a good old race there, aren't they? With Piercy, Blakey and company. I think the Jack Smith 3rd has got to be wrong, unless we've got some penalties or something going on, because if we look at what's going on with the cars here, you can see that the 3 yellow guys are all busy dicing at the moment.
Yeah.
With Chris Blakey in the middle in the black and yellow cars. We go back to, there is Jack Smith in 6th place. So something wrong with the timing that I've got, which is useful. Kieran Haynes now up into 8th, according to that. No, he's further back, isn't he, on the timing tower? So I'm confused, Ted, as they used to say.
Yes, I've got him as 8th on my screen, but then you look on the actual footage, and yeah, he's not in 8th. So we'll see what happens.
Jack Smith busy trying to punt down this group. Jack, you feel with a good strong position in the championship, 5th place at the moment. will continue to get to grips with this championship and probably work his way up to be in a challenging position for Brands Indy at the end. I would never be surprised if he's in a position to nick the championship at the end of the campaign, because he's a great little peddler. Normally see him a lot more dominant in the early stages, but he was maybe on the back foot a little bit, having missed round one due to illness, which was a great pity, and that meant that was his dropped round. You have to drop one event on this one, as Paul Laramie continues to hound Mason Turner, and we're looking at Ollie Atkins and Thomas Potter. Great move by Ollie Atkins, super stuff down the inside of Thomas Potter, but overcooks it and is off, carried a little bit too much speed through the S's there, I think, and in his quest to pass Thomas Potter.
What were you saying about commentator's curse, Richard?
Well, there you go. Yeah, great move and too much momentum. Sad, but I do like to see a driver having a go.
He definitely, yeah, that's a shame, because he got the move done and then just lost the back end on the switch over into the right-hander.
Faint heart never kissed a pig, did it, eh?
So I'm told.
So, good crowd here today at Snetterton as well. They're looking to, maybe some of those guys are queuing up to come onto the infield or get into the paddock at the end of it. I do love Snetterton. It's such a great place to visit, and not too far away from home for me as well, being in South London, which is good. But this is the battle now, and it is a group of cars forming up, and you've got to say you could perm any one from 5 to win this one. Mason Turner still got a lead of 0.7 of a second over Paul Laramie. Paul in turn has now got Lee Piercy breathing all over him. So Lee Piercy, who has been on the podium a couple of times, including a win earlier on in the campaign, could be in with a shout here of getting further up, and in fact he's putting pressure on Paul Laramie, and that's got to be good news for Mason Turner, hasn't it, for the moment, that he hasn't got to worry about goodness me, what happened there? I said no worries, and then it all goes pear-shaped. That was the curse, wasn't it?
He just ran wide at the bomb hole, just dropped a wheel off on the left hand side, and yeah, I just thought as he went out of shot, I thought he's wide there, and he was.
That's a shame.
That's a real shame.
Good for Paul Laramie. And now, here comes Scott Bugner, who's going to look down the inside and try and get his nose in front. As they go down the inside into turn one, is Bugner going to do it? I think he probably will. And Paul Laramie's lead was very, very brief indeed. We'll see whether Laramie can fight back. But the championship leader, Scott Bugner, sometimes things just open up for you. And Scott was in a good, healthy point scoring position anyway. But it's now Bugner from Laramie with Chris Blakey in third place. Mason Turner has held on though, and he's in fourth at the moment. But that was a potential win. And so much for me saying we're going to get a first-time winner here. Yeah, I got it wrong.
Well, Scott Bugner really, like you say, it's fell into his lap, and he's kept himself there or thereabouts, and it's paid off, because while other people were exploring the scenery, he kept his head down, and he's looking good here.
Scott's been a real star of this championship so far, and you know, had a great opening round, but he's kept that form going, and he's such a great chap. Races MGs in the real world. We really are going to have to get him into a Formula Ford 1600 and see if we can. So I don't want to poach drivers away from other championships, but I'm guessing this is something he had not thought about doing, and many of the drivers probably hadn't thought about single seaters, because people think, single seaters are for, you know, for rich kids who want to go to Formula One. It's not the case. You know, it's
not.
Proper pure motor racing, and actually Formula Ford 1600 is the best single seater racing you can get, in my humble opinion.
It is, and you can still turn up dad and lad racing, or dad and mum and dad racing, with a van on the trailer, car on the trailer, and you can still enjoy yourself. And it's not stupid money. You're not looking at slicks and wings money. And there's plenty of races around the country. You don't have to do a full championship. You can dip in and out. And yeah, I can't recommend it highly enough.
It's really, really great thing. You've got two big events at the end of the year, the festival, the Walter Hayes, and now we've got Mason Turner. Great battle here with Thomas Potter. So the two youngsters gunning for it. I'd love to see Thomas having a go in Formula Ford as well. I know he's going into Fiesta Juniors this year and may well go the saloon car route, but would really, really like to see Thomas having a go. You know, maybe when he gets to 16. He's still a couple of years away from that. I mean, he wasn't old enough to race juniors at the end of last year, and he's coming in this year and having a go. Nice line from Thomas there. Yeah, he got a very good. Yeah, he did. Let's see whether he's got the momentum along centre straight.
Here we go, 3 abreast. So
Norse as well.
who's going to be the bravest into riches. This could stand well back.
Oh, Gabe Norse round the outside in red and white. The twice round championship leader. Look at that. Gabriel Norse right the way round the pair of them. Where did he come from in that when they were going into Murray's? Goodness me, that was incredible by Gabe Norse. Superb stuff.
He got the double draft there, I think, and made it play.
Oh, Mason Turner has another spin, so Gabe Norse up into fourth place. Thomas Potter. This is one of the battles I wanted to see. Norse and Potter having a go at each other, and Thomas is fighting him back, and he's going to be on the outside as they come down towards the S's. Side by side they go, two absolute stars of this. Potter's gone round the outside. Superb stuff from Thomas Potter, but has he got too much momentum? Will he leave the door open? No, he doesn't. He's running well. Gabe Norse will get him back. They'll try to get him back as they go through Coram. We've only got 3 seconds on the clock. Now, of the front runners on their last lap, we're going to see a checker for Scott Bugnall, or is he on his way to another lap? I'm just going to try and... I haven't got the checkered flag on the timing screen, but that hasn't been the best, has it? As they come across the line again, and it is Scott Bugnall who, with the clock being out, takes the win from Paul Laramie with Chris Blakey. It's an all VRRC regular podium with Thomas Potter in fourth, just ahead of Gabriel Norse, with Lee Pearcey in sixth. Superb bit of racing towards the end of the race there. Kieran Haynes in seventh. I think Kieran maintained the fastest lap of the race. Jack Smith in eighth from Andy Carroll and Ollie Atkins, and it looks like the iPad timing is correct now. Miles Ragnex from Cat Potter. I'm just going to run down the top guys. We'll get a quick thought from you there, Wayne, actually.
Well, Scott Bugnall started 28th.
Wow.
And that is a hell of a drive. Considering the leader had got like a second lead over the next bunch, and Scott's come through from 28th, that is on board would make good viewing on its own, wouldn't it?
Yeah, cracking stuff from Scott. Never underestimate Scott Bugnall, a cracking driver. Let me just finish off running down the drivers, and then we'll go to a break. I think I've got to Cat Potter 12th, Mason Turner 13th from Ollie Gibson and Dan Heaps, Leon Frost 16th from Luke Cooper 17th, Harry Irving, welcome back Harry, 18th from Alex Forster, Christian Gillian, Kian Haig and Sam Gumbly 22nd from Andy Dorman, Caden Cook, Sam Walton, Callum Enstone 26th from George Harker and Aidan Ingram. Some top drivers, I mean literally all the way down the field, quality drivers. And I think everybody here on the day capable of getting a podium. Podium is up next, but we're going to take a quick break and we'll be back with our first interviews in just a minute or so. So, first podium interviews of our round. We're actually now, of course, into the second half of the season. And let's have a word with the man in third place. It is Chris Blakey. So, Chris, I think second podium of the season, or have I missed one? But well done, good drive.
Evening, gents. By sheer chance and luck, I think. That I don't know what happened above me, but I was clinging on. It's the slipstream, especially with these straights, are just the getting in the draft. You get out the draft of somebody. I was desperately trying to get close enough to Paul to kind of draft and bump draft him and kind of get close so he could get first. But I just fell out of his draft, and then Lee and Scott came along, bump drafted away to me, caught me. I thought I'd try and stick on them, but I lost them. Yeah, it's just a interesting evening, but I'm here. I'm third. I'm happy.
Are you enjoying it overall?
Yes. I've had a few unfortunate events, and last week I was plagued by internet problems. But yeah, it's been a hell of a series. The racing is super close. It's like when we look in the practice, the times are kind of we're fighting for thousandths. It's you can't even believe how close it is. And yeah, the race is great. It really is.
I can't remember if I asked you last time. We have had a podium interview before in this campaign, but is it something that you would, consider? I mean, obviously you've got your racing plans and you're sort of there, but is it something you think you would enjoy for real? Formula 4? To
be honest with you, I'd love to have a go. It's one of those things that I've never driven a single seater, so I've never been that low, like on a T tray with 4 wheels, basically, going down the wheel that low, that exposed. So it'd be a completely different sensation than anything I've ever driven before. But you never know what might come. I'm still trying to rebuild the other car. It goes off its roll cage on Monday, so it's
that's good.
We're getting there. We're getting back there with the other one. So.
Hey, a fairly boring question for you, but you'll see where it leads. Who was your racing hero when you were a youngster?
Oh, this may sound really daft, but Ayrton Senna. I grew up. I started watching Grand Prix when I was 10, so 94-ish, 93-ish. So literally just before he had his accident, and I just remember watching, kind of starting watching them, and then learning about his history and all that sort of watching it backwards, and how much I missed of sort of being a child. And yeah, I love watching back his races, the documentaries about him, stuff, and his racecraft, the way he could drive a car. Imagine what he'd be like today. It would be unreal. Yeah.
And of course, Formula Ford was where he started here in the UK, and the main straight's named after him. So I mean, there's that nice link then with your childhood hero. And yeah, I think it's great that people can still do Formula Ford and relate to those motorsport heroes. We were talking about, of course, we lost Ayrton the same weekend we lost Roland Ratzenberger, and we were talking about it's an anniversary of Roland's loss as well. Dreadful weekend.
Horrible weekend, yeah.
We'll never ever forget what I was up to that weekend. It's one of those things that sticks in your mind. But anyway, not a nice thing to talk about, but we do respect and honour our heroes in racing. And yeah, Chris, great stuff, mate. Really good to see you on the podium. Clock's ticking down, so good luck for the next couple of races, mate. Well done.
Yep, I'll lead it. Thank you, guys.
And second position goes to Paul Laramie. Paul, fantastic result. Lovely to have you on the podium. I think previous best was a brace 8th places, so we've got you up on the podium. Well done. Talk us through.
Yeah, evening. Yeah, thanks. I really enjoyed that race. Really clean start. Managed to stay out of any trouble. A few people had moments in front of me that kind of opened the way a little bit, and I lost to Scott. I didn't try and defend that. He had a good run out the last corner. I thought actually I'd rather preserve the points and try and risk trying to hang it around the outside of the first corner and just trying to hold second place. But yeah, really, I love driving these cars. I think they're good fun to drive. I wouldn't fit in a real one, but they're good fun to drive in the sim.
Yes, you would. I'm sure you would. And going back to the earlier part of the race, obviously you were chasing Mason Turner and closing down on him, and Mason had a problem. What was your view of Mason going off?
Yeah, he just ran a little bit wide at the bomb hole and went onto the grass. Once he went onto the grass, he just couldn't get it back on again. I mean, I nearly followed him, in fairness. But yeah, he just found himself a little bit wide. Whether it was the lower tyre grip as it got to that part of the race, but just couldn't hold any span. He kind of tagged Lee. I just missed him as he came back across, and he kind of tagged Lee. So that's what took Lee out with it. So.
What are the time we've been talking about tyre pressures and things like that on these cars. What's for anybody who might be new joining us this evening, what are the things you can alter on these cars?
Yeah, so the main one is the tyre pressure for each corner. So we have different apps. We can use things like Pro Tyres or other apps that tells us the PSI as the tyres are heating up through the heat cycles. So mainly tyres, fuel, other than brake bias. Other than that, that's pretty much the limits of what we can change. It's really, for me, these are really easy to get in and drive because we haven't got to be a setup expert on all the different suspension settings. So I think for me it makes the racing really close. As Chris said, in the practice times you are thousandths apart.
It's working really well, isn't it? This championship.
Really enjoying it.
Yeah, and it's great getting different drivers up on the podium as well. I'm delighted that you've made it onto the podium, and I hope it's the first of many in the campaign, Paul. Very well done. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you. Did you get
Paul Laramie? Great, nice one, mate. Well done. And let's move on to Scott Bugner, cracking drive, started way back. Scott, well done, another win. Championship leader coming in on a reverse grid race and getting a win. Doesn't get much better than that, does it, to start the evening?
Good evening. No, it doesn't. I've done 4 laps of practice before tonight, so I wasn't expecting a lot. I wasn't expecting a lot, and I think the first 4 just sort of. My middle name on Discord is actually Moses, and literally everything parted for me going through, going to the final call at Coram. But no, the pace is. The thing is, I'm not the quickest. I'm probably only like 5th or 6th quickest, but luck's been on my side. A bit of racecraft, just sort of picking my way through where I can, and it's paid off for me so far.
That's really great, and of course we've got the slightly different angle this week with the point scorers in the heats get to start off the front, so it's like we've got a little mini festival format effectively going on now. That's what I'm going to call it. It's not festival, but so you haven't got to technically might not have to do bucket loads of work in race 3 now.
Yeah, I mean I've made it hard for myself in race 2 again. But hopefully if we can do the same, it's not the same again, but if we can get into the top sort of 6, 6 or 7, it'll put us in good stead for the last race, where then we'll just carry on trying to get the points where I can, and see what happens at the end.
It's been a great campaign so far, and so you keep banging the wins in, and you reclaim the championship lead from Gabriel last week. So I guess you're just going to be hoping that I'm not the commentator of doom, and you probably want Jack back.
Yeah, I mean, last week was really good actually. Yeah, but again, it was the same thing. There was crashes up at McLean's, and I went from 4th to 2nd on the last lap. So it happens. It might happen to me in this next one. But yeah, like I said, I'm just trying to pick my way through. Work with people to try and catch up, and and then you pick your way through where you can. And but yeah, no, if I was a little bit thinner, a little bit lighter, I probably would like to have a go in one of these cars. I can't lie to you in real life.
We'd love to see you have a drive. If any of the tests, if any tests do happen, I'd definitely love to come along and see it and be a part of that day. So
if anyone's got a test day, going, I'm happy to have a go. I don't mind. I definitely won't say no.
MSV press day today, wasn't it? I didn't even realise. That's very early, 10th of February for MSV at was it Donington Park today? But I was working, so I couldn't go. But yeah, a lot of drivers were out and doing things MSV wise, but really good start. How's the MG coming along? I've seen some social media posts that you're busy working on the car as well at home.
Yeah, the engine was I put the engine in it today, so I've got all the wiring to do and drive shafts and all that horrible stuff to do, and I've got a track day booked for next Friday the 20th at Cadwell. Right. Just run it in, get everything back together again, because I'm using my dad's car this year. So get everything up and running, and then get it all corner weighted and tracked up before Donington, which is on the 22nd, I think, of March, the Grand Prix circuit as well.
Excellent. That's a cracker, isn't it? I love Donington GP. There's not really many circuits I dislike, but yeah, that's a cut above, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really good. I've done it a few times, and it's a really good track. Really good track.
Nice one. Well, we've got just under 2 minutes to go before the next race. So, Scott, I'm going to let you get your thoughts together for that. So, thanks for joining us, and very well done on another win. Super stuff, mate.
Thank you very much.
So, Scott Bugner, our race 1 winner from event 5 of our championship. Paul Laramie in second with his first podium of the campaign, and Chris Blakey with his second podium of the season in third place. Cracking start to the evening's racing, Wayne, and race 2 got a sort of familiar look to it, hasn't it? Because we've got Alex Forster and Christine Gillian on the front row of the grid, Luke Cooper and Harry Irvine. And have you seen Harry's livery there on the outside of row 2?
That's a familiar, very familiar for any Formula Ford fan going back many years. Duckham's were big sponsors, and still they were helping us out with our Heroes Championship 2 years ago. They've been staunch supporters of Formula Ford over the years.
That's great. We can see a little saltire by Harry's name there. He's the regular viewers will know that Harry is the guy that looks after you if you go up to do Andrew Donald's Legends Car School, and great that he's carried on his involvement into the Formula Ford 1600 Super Classic Championship. Had a quick look there at Cat Potter as Andy Dorman, who is has got a little bit of work to do, I think, in this one. But yeah, lots of drivers up near the front who could do well. Jack Smith starting in 13th place. Kieran Haynes alongside him in the Cooper Junior team. So yeah, plenty of work to do. It is going to be interesting to see how things pan out for the third race of the day. I will probably use the wrong terminology and call it a final, but it's race 3, but it's the final race of the day. But before that, the penultimate race of the day about to get underway. A little bit of a slow start there from Christian Gillian, and Alex Forster got away well. So Forster, let's hope that he can maybe do away with the early race nerves, which maybe affected him in race number 1. But he's made a cracking start, and he's clear at the moment with Luke Cooper up into 2nd place. Daniel Heaps is 3rd as they head down into Montreal for the first time of asking. Good clean start there, Wayne.
It was, yep. And Alex Forster again doing what he did in race 1, trying to get away at the front. Luke Cooper, somebody's off in the background there, 2 cars off on the exit of the complex there. But yeah, Alex Forster is getting away at the moment. Luke Cooper is making up for lost time after race 1. Leon Frost as well, who did a Formula Ford race in real time at the Walter Hayes last year and did pretty well.
That's good. That is, I didn't know that. That's really good. So I didn't make it to the Hayes. I keep meaning to go, but usually end up with, I don't know why, the later end of the season for me tends to be busier. You get 5-6 weekends on the back. I guess it's because of all the finals are filmed and everything like that. But hopefully we'll make it to the Hayes. Love to work on it if anyone wants to. If there's a gap, I don't want to nick work off anyone else, but if you need someone to come down and do stuff, let us know. Forster, though, the leader, on board with Luke Cooper, looking back at Leon Frost in. It's Leon actually up into the race lead. Hang on, let's just do the timing screen and see how it goes. No, Alex Forster's still there at the moment. Oh, gave me a momentary scare as we look around. It's Forster still leading. Daniel Heaps in P2, and then Leon Frost in 3rd place. Daniel Heaps very well capable of grabbing podia in this one. He's finished on the podium before, but hasn't. When he had the podium, he managed to. He had a penalty, so got knocked off the podium post-event, which was a shame. But Alex Forster out front, 2.29 seconds. So Daniel Heaps will, Wayne, keep him very close indeed, for sure.
He will. Mason Turner, I think that was there, having a real go around the outside. He's up into 6th, so he'll be looking to make up for what happened in race 1, I think.
Yeah, so he very definitely will. So Forster coming under pressure from Daniel Heaps. Thanks to Geoff Page for messaging me saying there is a possible test day coming up for Formula Ford 1600 at Mallory Park next month. So keep your eyes peeled on all the various social medias to do with anything Formula Ford 1600. But Daniel Heaps, the young Irishman, busy chasing hard here. So this is Senna Straight, very slightly uphill and then downhill into Turn 1. Let's have a look to see the Alex Forster keeping it defensive on the inside, but Heaps is going to go for the burn up round the outside. Is he going to be able to do it? He's certainly got his nose in front on the timing tower. And we look back, yeah, super move, wasn't it, by Daniel Heaps?
That was really clean round the outside. Yeah, just enough room, and then Alex as well. Obviously, made enough room so they didn't both of them go off. That was really clean stuff. That.
Yeah, great stuff between the pair of them. Lovely to see, and Daniel here hasn't had a win in this. He had plenty of other VRRC wins, but he's going to be under a bit of pressure here because we've got Leon Frost getting involved as well with Alex Forster and going through into the lead. Superb stuff. Leon Frost goes through into the lead. Daniel Heaps in 2nd, and to be fair to Daniel, they probably didn't know which side to defend, and that's the danger, isn't it, with Formula Ford, where you've got cars either side of you. What do you do? And Alex Forster's coming back up, regaining his confidence, gets himself momentarily back into 2nd. Heaps around the outside. He's going to slot into 3rd, and I think just take stock here and then decide what he can do about these 2 cars in front. He's certainly a pacey driver. But good stuff from Alex Forster here, challenging back. And is he going to do a Heaps and go around the outside of Leon Frost?
Oh, look how the wily old fox, Mr. Cooper, is just hanging back here in 4th and seeing what may fall into his lap. We'll see.
Gabe Norse down behind Oliver Gibson, looking to try and close up as well. But yeah, Cooper keeping a good watch. This is, of course, from the cockpit of a driver who is a multiple Formula Ford 1600 champion at Castle Combe, that knows exactly what to do. And he'll be looking in his mirror. He'll be aware of Oliver Gibson behind him. Ollie's had a couple of wins in it and is 2 places ahead of Luke in the championship. But Luke has been so consistent, and it's still Leon Frost leading. Daniel Heaps is going to have a go here, outside as they go through Brundle and Nelson, and gets it back. Super move by Daniel Heaps and Leon Frost. Oh, and off goes Alex Forster. Has another moment. Big shame for Alex. Hopefully, I was going to say hopefully get a podium in race 3, but he's going to be starting a long way back. A big pity for him, that. A real shame.
Yeah, just as I mentioned in race 1, the curbs there are really high, and he just took too much curb and it just turned the car around, which is a real shame. But yeah, this is going to build up into a real dogfight by the looks of it. Top 5 now, really getting away. My money's on Luke Cooper. There you go, there's my 50 pence thrown in.
He's him and Ollie Gibson going side by side at the moment, which is again a joy to watch. And yeah, they're still side by side, those two, with Gabe Norse in 5th place. I mean, I wouldn't bet against Gabe Norse doing something tasty in this one as well. He's in the 5th place car, the red and white machine, who's looking to get stuck in here as well, and now gets embroiled in that battle for 3rd position. In fact, gets his nose up into 3rd, so it's Heaps from Frost. And then the two teammates now, Frost's teammate is Norse, so 2nd and 3rd, so it's almost a lockout between the shake and bake team at the moment on the podium. 2nd and 3rd is good. They want to be P1 and P2 though.
Most definitely. Yeah, they're the first two are just getting away a touch, but I think if the then again, who's going to work together? It's like the same in Moto3 bike racing, where you think when the rider taps the seat unit, it says follow me, and nobody ever does. It's everyone himself, isn't it? So, but if the 3 can work together here and try and tow back up to the leaders, they've got half a chance, but they can't let them get too far away.
No, they can't. They can't do that. Daniel Heaps here, a good charging driver, and nice for us just to see how he responds as a defender at the moment. With Leon Frost, who's already been in front once, is going to have a go, and this is again exactly what we like about Formula Ford 1600 racing. Frost looks to the outside here, maybe thinking about a cutback. He's got momentum, but just a little bit of coverage there from Daniel Heaps, who goes defensive as they around the top part of the hairpin, then down onto the straight once again, the Bentley straight. So it is Heaps still there from Frost. Gabe North still in 3rd position, looking back in the mirror on the right of shot. Good gap back as they get very, very close indeed. Leon Frost here just trying to work out where his best chance is going to be to pass. Slightly wider out of the complex there, so it might give him more momentum as they head down towards Gorham. 3rd place Norse, 4th Gibson, 5th position Luke Cooper. Still think Cooper's in with a shout here?
Well, as soon as I mentioned Luke, he dropped back 2 kilos, so I'm not saying I'm not going to mention it again.
That is always the way. Always the way. Scott Bugner's through into 6, interestingly, behind this, with Lee Pearcey. Scott in the more yellow car. He's going to pass Luke Cooper here as well.
Yeah, Luke just went into the back of the car in front there, and that got a little bit messy.
It did. That's a shame, isn't it? Still Heaps, Frost and North. Scott Bugner now up into P4, and it all opening up for him again as Leon Frost gets his nose down the inside. Jack Smith gets the fastest lap, but it's Leon Frost back in front of this one, with Daniel Heaps now coming under pressure from Gabe Norse, who's really closed in on this pair. And we see there exactly as they start to squabble, it slows them up. It allows Norse, who's quick anyway, to close in. And now the 2 teammates have got a 1-2 with Daniel Heaps in 3rd place. Scott Bugner trying to close it in on them. So too is Lee Pearcey. So too is Oliver Gibson. Now, do the teammates work together here? They're not going to get a chance to, because Daniel Heaps looking down the inside as they come into the left-hander at Brundle. Gabe Norse is equal to that. Norse in the previous race, of course, was dicing with Thomas Potter. Another youngster on his heels now is Daniel Heaps, the young Irish driver, trying to put pressure on him. Norse, I don't think he's going to give his teammate any slack at all. He's going to go for the lead here, I think.
Well, it's a bit of a tag team job, this. Daniel Heaps is up against 2 in the same colours in front of him, but yeah, could be a bit of friendly fire going on ahead. They're really, really close. Richie's could be interesting.
I think it could be. Now, what's Daniel Heaps going to do? Is he going to watch these 2? Is he going to keep pace and then maybe make a move a little bit later on? We're only halfway through this 2nd event of the Tuesday evening, the Geoff Page Engineering Formula Ford 1600 Super Classic Esports Championship. A great way to warm up the cold winter, or cold, wet, damp evenings. It's not damp on track. I know someone was asking whether we could have the odd wet race thrown in, and I know it's being looked at. for possible future championships as the two teammates continue to lead this one. We slot back with Lee Piercy chasing Scott Bugner in 4th, Oliver Gibson down behind him, then it's Luke Cooper, Mason Turner 8th from Ollie Atkins, and Jack Smith wrapping up the top 10 at the moment. Kat Potter a consistent 11th on the timing screen. Kat's doing very well here in Formula Ford, and I know that the family probably can't afford to have 2 race cars, but you know, if Thomas is doing Fiesta Juniors, then maybe Kat ought to be racing Formula Ford.
Yeah, she's going very well. Just looking at Scott Bugner again, his points make prizes here, don't they? He's looking 4th, and well, look at the way he's coming onto the back of the leading pack there. So I think he could be on for another win here. Even though I said Luke Cooper was going to win about 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, you've just put Scott out of contention now by saying that.
I'm sorry, Scott. You're listening to this back. Really sorry for what might happen.
To be fair, he's got Lee Piercy right behind him as well. But Daniel Heaps has, to my mind, I think Daniel would have been looking in his virtual mirror and seen Scott Bugner behind him and thinking, yeah, if I could have a little nibble at Gabe Norse in 2nd and Leon Frost. I think Leon and Gabe possibly working together at the moment. Gabriel Norse is probably the over the races that we've had the quicker of the 2 drivers, but Leon Frost doing an absolutely superb job here. Remember, he won race 2 this race on the Brands Hatch GP circuit, and also won race 1 last week, so a double race winner. And we have seen the race wins, I won't say shared out, but hard earned, and a good spread of race winners is probably what I'm trying to say, as they go through Murray's again and on to centre straight. This is the view from Lee Piercy in 5th position. Scott Bugner immediately ahead, the championship leader, who again is going to score well, and this is going to set him up nicely for race 3, and that different complexion, Wayne, of having the top scorers from races 1 and 2 on the front for race 3. It's going to be totally different, but very important that Scott gets a good result here to set himself up for more points in the final event of the evening.
Yeah, definitely. If you can, if you've had a good consistent evening, obviously you can be well up in the 3rd race, and if Scott starts on the front couple of rows, I think it would be difficult for anyone to lay a glove on him the way he's looking this evening. I mean, to win from 28th in race 1 is some achievement, and we'll see what happens there. I mean, it's still just under 8 minutes to go, but like you say, I think the 2 guys in front are working together, and it's paying off because they're pulling a gap on Daniel Heaps now in 3rd.
Yes, it's good sense. Well, now we're starting to see a move as Gabriel Norse looks down the inside, takes the lead very neatly. Wasn't too much haggling about that. Maybe it's just Gabe's turn to have a go in the lead. We'll see whether there's going to be another challenge. And as they look in their mirrors, they'll know that Daniel Heaps is going to be occupied with Scott Bugner. So Scott is closing in, as you rightly said. Daniel makes a little mistake, runs a little bit wide there, and that will scrub off some time. But the fact that the 3rd place car is maybe more aware of the championship leader behind them, it does allow the top 2 to have a little swap, have a little bit of a play, and see if they can sort themselves out. At the moment, it's Gabe Norse out front from Leon Frost, with Daniel Heaps in 3rd, Scott Bugner in 4th. Job to know where to look here. I suppose the main thing is to watch Scott and see whether he can close in on Daniel Heaps, and also whether Oliver Gibson can close down on Lee Piercy. Oliver in the blue and yellow car just to the the right of shot as we were looking at them. And there is Oliver Gibson, again, multiple winner in this one as well. Having a good run, Ollie Gibson. Ollie Atkins running strong in 7th place at the moment. This is going to be, Ollie Atkins in 7th would be potentially a best finish here. And we'll start to think about driver of the round. And, you know, we're always often tempted to go with front runners, but Ollie Atkins here on for a best result, building on what he did last week. So remember, best result for him last week, and potentially here, and I hope, Wayne, this isn't the curse of me commentating, that he's in a good strong 7th place at the moment ahead of Mason Turner.
Yeah, he was quick in testing as well earlier. I think he ended up in 2nd place in testing. Scott Bugner's up to 3rd, and he's fancying another win by the looks of it.
Double podium would be very, very useful championship points wise. And this is, you know, effectively now we've got the top 2 championship runners on the podium. So we've got this battle, and you know, Leon Frost he's outside of the top 6 on points, but this evening's performance, as we get towards the sort of, or just past the midway point in the season, Leon's bigger scores will come into play, and he will start troubling the top 6. So by no account should we rule Leon Frost out of a championship. But at the moment, for me, the battle here is Scott Bugner and Gabe Norse at the moment, the way the championship stands.
Yeah, definitely. Excuse me, I've got a coffee fit here. Yeah, Scott's just going to keep piling the points on by the looks of it, and he's got 5 minutes. I think he can get onto the back of these two. I think he can.
Leon Frost gets the fastest lap, 1:14.188. Yeah, my timing, I'm not using my timing as much though, because it's definitely out of kilter with the timing tower that we've got. 4 minutes to go as Norse leading Frost, Bugner, Daniel Heap still in a strong 4th place here for Daniel, so decent points for Daniel Heaps, with Oliver Gibson about to have a little go at him and try and get round the outside. Oh, a little mistake there from Leon Frost, a big mistake actually, goes off right on the grass, and that is going to put Scott Bugner up into P2. Let's hope Leon can get back in. He does, recovered from that reasonably well, but he's lost a lot of momentum, and Lee Pearce is all over him now as well. Oh, that's a shame for Leon Frost.
Definitely, yeah. Like I said earlier, small mistake, and the closeness of the cars here, you can lose 5 or 6 places in a flash. That's just what happened there.
Gabriel Norse, when he's been the champion, has had everything thrown at him. He's had races with Daniel Heaps, he had Thomas Potter in race number 1, and now we've got effectively the shootout between the 2 top drivers in the championship. They're both going to score well if they stay on track in this second race of the day, so they're going to be on the front again for race 3, which is kind of what we want to see. But Gabe Norse has got a good hand advantage over Scott Bugner at the moment. If you're Scott, and I'll ask you, Wayne, as an ex-racer, if you're thinking about championship points now, what would you do? Would you chase after Gabe, or would you sit in a relatively safe 2nd place and try and hook up and just get that front slot for race 3?
Well, call me boring, but I think for a championship, you take these points,
yeah,
and then set yourself up for a strong, good grid position for race 3, and then go for the win in that one, definitely.
I mean, that's the thing, isn't it? If you've had wins and had podiums, and then the next thing to think about is the championship, isn't it?
Definitely, and the way he's going as well. I mean, he started on 174. He had a 19-point lead going into this round, so yeah, he's got a bit in hand as well.
Daniel Heap still enjoying his race at the moment, so it's Norse from Bugner, Lee Pearcey. Leon Frost recovers in 6th place, so sort of consolidating himself. Still decent points for Frost at the back of the pair that we're looking at the moment. Gibbs and Heaps having a Gibson, and Oliver Gibson just having a momentary off, with Daniel Heaps now in 4th, so consolidates 4th place. Leon Frost back up into 5th. Ollie Atkins still in 7th, ahead of Mason Turner. Jack Smith in 9th. Kieran Haynes in 10th position, with Luke Cooper, Christian Gillian and Kat Potter next. Christian Gillian's held on well. He started at the front, Wayne, but again, a good, strong run, holding on pretty well. Just shy of the top 10 at the minute, but yeah, decent stuff. And Scott Bugner now, who says he's not the fastest man on track, tow or otherwise, he knows how to pedal these cars.
He does, yeah. I mean, we'll see. It's his 2nd back now, 2 minutes to go. I think he'll, unless Gabriel Norse makes a mistake, I think he's got enough in hand here. But you never know with Scott Bugner; he can always pull something out from nowhere.
He could well do. Gabriel Norse, I think, is, as you say, without wanting to curse anybody, has got the know-how and the ability that we've seen over the rounds that he's raced with us. Missed the 1st round, but came in from the 2nd round onwards and has been so consistent. But yeah, Scott in 2nd position, and it's going to be a double podium. Lee Pearcey is in 3rd, so Lee Pearcey's had a good strong run as well, with Daniel Heaps next up. And there is Scott Bugner still trying to close down. Can he get the gap to under a second? It's 1.07 seconds at the moment, so going down the centre straight now onto the last lap here of race 2. These evenings, Wayne, go so very quickly indeed. Last lap already of the 2nd race.
Yeah, they say time flies when you're having fun, and yeah, it's been, yeah, we're nearly at the end of race 2 already. So can Scott really pull anything out of the bag here? If he does, it'll be absolutely incredible, making a 2nd in a lap. He's made up 2/10 in the 1st sector already, so I think he's gonna have a go.
I think he's going to have a go. And of course, the other thing is that even if he's not intending or thinking in his mind that he hasn't maybe got the time to get close enough, it will be pressure for Gabe Norse. So it's going to be really interesting to see that Gabriel Norse, I think, he's equal to this with the racing that he's done, but it is a little bit of pressure for him to have to deal with as they clear the S's, head down into Bombhole again, down into Coram for the last time. And Gabe Norse, he probably won't thank me, but I've written his name down at the top of the bit of paper already, which is the pen of doom has done its job. But I think we can safely do that with Gabriel. It's been a good one from him.
Yeah, definitely. He's just got to keep his nose clean here through the last corner, and yeah, great drive. Yeah, had a great battle with his teammate that came out on top there.
Yeah, super stuff. Gabriel Norse adds another win to his cannon, and he takes the win from Scott Bugner in P2. Lee Piercy third. Leon Frost, good recovery from Leon in fourth place, with Ollie Atkins in fifth. Ollie Atkins, yeah, definitely a contender for driver of the round. We'll see what he does in the final, or in race 3. But fifth place, another personal best for Ollie Atkins. Great stuff. Oliver Gibson recovers for 6th, got better of Mason Turner. Kieran Haynes was in 8th position. Looks like my timing tower, my timing screen has caught up. Daniel Heaps falling away a little bit at the end, maybe tyre problems for him, dropping down into 10th place from Christian Gillian. Christian held on well there, having started on the front. There's a side-by-side happening there as they go across the line. Let's have a quick look at the other positions. It was Cat Potter 12th from Luke Cooper, then Andy Carroll and Chris Blakey. Miles Ragg 16th from Alex Forster. Callum Enstone in 18th. Sam Gumbley next up from Paul Laramie completes the top 20. Kean Haig 21st from Andy Dorman. Harry Irvin in 23rd from Aidan Ingram. And Thomas Potter, out of luck, is our 25th car. And we'll talk with our top 3 after this break.
I've had a lot of challenges in my life. We went through some tough times. We lost a lot of friends. And Helen was always there, supporting me through everything. She was razor sharp, brilliant with that stopwatch. Today, we're facing a new challenge. Helen has been diagnosed with a terrible disease. Dementia is nothing less than a worldwide epidemic.
Indeed, 1 in 3 people born today will develop some form of dementia during their lifetime unless we can do something to change that. And whilst there has been important research progress, it clearly is not fast enough.
When I was racing, a pit stop might have taken 2 minutes or more. These days, it can be under 2 seconds. Formula One moves fast. The pressure to perform is relentless. High technology, problem solving is what we do every single day. By contrast, medical research can be painfully slow. We bring Formula One technology into the laboratories. We've identified the best research talent in the world to work with the leading Formula One teams for a period of time to learn from their performance-driven culture and to adopt their sense of urgency.
I developed drugs from scratch, and I followed the Formula One mindset to treat dementia.
We need to find new ways of doing things smarter if we're going to beat this really cruel disease.
So I'm hoping with my research to find something that has a tangible benefit, drive towards a real change, which can be translated into clinic, that can make a difference to patients, because that's what we really need.
This is not a race that one person is going to win. Science builds on little puzzle pieces that get put together. There has to be a team effort.
I'm working to beat dementia faster.
I'm working to beat dementia faster.
I'm working to beat dementia faster.
Let's beat dementia together.
There are so many worthy causes around, and it is always quite. For me, the guys who are waiting for the podium interview saying it's all gone quiet, but I was watching Sir Jackie Stewart and family and all that great footage that's there, and that cause is very close to my heart. I've got to say, Race Against Dementia. So it's great that that is a cause that is being supported by everyone in the motorsport community, which is great. So that's why I was a bit quiet, you guys, on that watching that ad. But we'll stop that now and go on to and have some noise from our podium finishes, starting with Lee Pearcey in P3. Well done, Lee. Good race.
Yeah, thank you. It was hard work. Starting in the back there, and the first two corners here at Snetterton, you just want everyone just to calm down for the first lap. But there's people on the grass, there's people on the outside, there's people dive bombing, there's people spinning off everywhere. It's like, oh. So yeah, we got through the first lap, and then I was trying to work together with Scott again. Like I don't know if you noticed in race one, we was bump drafting a little bit and making use of the two cars to catch the pack in front. But then I let him get too much of a gap towards the end, and I couldn't catch him. But I'll take a third after. To be fair, after race one was good until a little incident, but. Yes,
you scored well. I think it was 6 in race one, Lee. So a 6 and a third. That's going to put you in the top. So with the revised format, it's going to be interesting to see all the fast guys from the evening together at the front.
Yeah, bit different this week. So actually, should be hopefully good fun at the front and see what we can do from there. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that one.
And anything that you change race by? I mean, you don't have to tell us what you're changing in terms of pressures or anything, but do you make little changes between the races?
No, I've pretty much run the same setup since round 1 of Brands GP.
Do you know what?
It's just, yeah, maybe 1 PSI different here and there because this one's a bit of an oval. I've gone up a little bit on the inside tyre pressures just to try and keep them up there. But yeah, apart from that, no, just going in and drove it each round.
That's so nice to hear. I would love to know whether someone's done the stats on all these people that faff about with their car, between every race and whether they actually learn anything or whether they improve on it. But I think you could.
The fixed setup that we got is very good. So it's I think hopefully I found a bit of a sweet spot maybe with the tyre pressures and the brake bias, and yeah, it's tricky around here. So, especially Coram is real tricky in these cars. I think I'd vote for that's the worst designed corner in the world of racing.
But anyway, good to have you on the podium. Sorry to cut you short.
You.
We need to get a couple of interviews done and dusted. But well done on P3. Great to have you back on the podium and great racing, mate. Look forward to seeing you later on.
Cheers.
P2, second chat of the evening. So therefore, I'm afraid it's going to be a short one. But pole position then for race 3. Scott Bugner, how about that? Well done.
Thank you. Yeah. Looking forward to it. I'll probably get a nosebleed because I don't remember the last time I started on pole at VRRC because I'm never quick enough to qualify pole. So, I'm looking forward to this one. Hopefully, Lee's near the front and we can work together and push our way through and get a gap, and then we can battle our way off into the distance. Then,
I think he scored well. So, yeah, I think he had a 6 and a third, and Gabe's had a 5th and a win, obviously. So, looking okay for Gabe as well. So, yeah, for us, it's what we want to see. You want to see the top guys in the championship battling it out, unfettered.
I mean, yeah, I think that's what's happened because obviously Gabe's quite close to us in the championship. I haven't seen Kieran where he finished. I don't know if he had a good race or not there, but yeah, no, I think it's going to be close. So it's all about the racecraft. There's no point in just trying to go for a gap and put away because it's not going to happen. You just got to kind of work your way through, and then when you think you've got enough gap behind, then go for it.
Okay, well, nice one. Well done, Scott. 2 podiums, the only driver to do that. So you're the only one with a shout of maybe getting the 3. Wish you well for the final. It's not a final, the final race. And we'll catch up a bit later on.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Scott Bugner. And on to our winner, Gabe Norse. Great to talk to you again, Gabe. Championship's running reasonably well. A little bit of frustration for you in race 2 last week, but you've bounced back from that this evening.
Yeah, last week I had a wheel disconnect in race 2, which was a bit unfortunate. But mate. Yeah, This week's gone a lot better than that. I've managed to get 5th place in race 1, and then obviously the win in race 2, which was definitely helped by working together with Leon during that race.
Yeah, did you sort of discuss it beforehand? Was there any sort of tactic before, or do you message each other as you're going around, or?
Yeah, well, we talked beforehand that we'd just help each other if we could, so yeah, it was good.
We felt sorry for it. I was sort of kind of building up for a team 1-2, but you know, you guys were looking real good on it, and then, but he recovered well actually. I mean, he had a problem, but it's how you recover, and he did well.
Yeah, it was good because I was able to see him finish. I think it was 4th by the end, so
Yeah.
that was a very good recovery from him.
And you must be, I'm guessing, happier that we've got the fastest off the front for race 3.
Yeah, although I do really enjoy making my way through, so that bit's kind of gone. But yeah, it's good to have all of the very fast people at the very front.
Yeah, it's best of both worlds, isn't it? Because you can do that as being a championship front runner, a race front runner, doing it in the first 2, and then having the more traditional angle of being off the front and getting experience with that for race 3, which is good. What have you been up to in the week? I don't know if we've got time to ask you this or not, but busy week?
I had a few tests at school, but not really much else. I did a bit.
I only had a
of
few
practice.
tests. I thought, great, it's been out in a car again. You know, school tests are not the way. Is it mocks this time of year, isn't it? I think, or
Yeah, I have mocks in about 3 weeks, which is fantastic. I'm really looking forward to them.
it has to be done though. It's got to be. It's worth having the backup, and you know. Yeah, less said about it, probably the better. But that's good. So yeah, looking forward to going to head with Scott Bugner in race 3.
Yeah, it should be a close, fun battle with him, and hopefully Leon can get with us, and maybe we can work together. So yeah, it would be a very fun race, I think.
Okay, well we're looking forward to that as well. Good luck. Have a good one, mate, and congratulations on an excellent win.
Yeah, thank you.
Go Norse, race 2 winner. Scott Bugner, we heard from in 2nd position, and Lee Piercy back on the podium in 3. Lee looking to work with Scott, and as you heard, we could well have Leon Frost working with Gabe Norse in this one as well, Wayne. So teammates could be potentially helping each other out for our race 3. And it is, you know, going into the second half of the campaign, really good to have this, I think, to have the top guys off the front. And there is the look. So we have P1 and P2 in the championship. P1 nearest camera with Scott Bugner and Gabriel Norse just alongside. It's going to be an absolutely cracking race. We've got Kieran Haynes, who scored well here. This is not a surprise for me, I suppose, but Kieran Haynes, 3rd top point scorer, and 3rd in the championship, and he's 3rd on the grid with Lee Piercy next up. So there is Lee, he's had a good consistent one, and then we've got Paul Laramie and Chris Blakey. I think probably more with their strong results in race 1. Ollie Atkins P7 could be a contender for driver of the round. He's having his best results so far in the championship, and again a driver that's really seeming to hit a little bit of form. And then we've got Leon Frost there as well in 8th place, and behind them Jack Smith and Oliver Gibson, the 2 brothers, who I think it's fair to say we've not seen the best of either of these 2 this evening. And although they've got a lot of good drivers ahead of them, they will very certainly get stuck in, and I think be in with the shout of getting up towards the podium. So I think we've got an interesting racing prospect here, Wayne.
Yeah, this could be a real good one. It'll be interesting to see if Kieran Haynes can get on the top step of the podium here, because he's right at the front, well, 2nd row. We'll see how he goes.
Yeah, this is going to be really interesting. Good to see likes of Cat Potter actually not that far away as well. Cat's been consistent, and you know, about well over halfway up the grid is Cat Potter, and it's not even a reverse grid. So well done, Cat. Lights out. Good luck, everybody. Enjoy your race. We certainly will, as they head down to Riches for the first time, side by side with Scott Bugner. Can he brave it out on the outside? Let's see if this is a tidier start than a reverse grid. There is some reversal, of course, with people that we would expect to be further up, who might be down the back end, but it's Gabe Norse that gets the best of the start from Scott Bugner. So it's Norse leading, Bugner in P2, on board with Paul Laramie in 5th position. Big sort out going on behind them. Paul Laramie looking up the inside. We've got Ollie Atkins running well in 6th position, but it's Norse from Bugner. Kieran Haynes, the top 3 in the championship, occupy P1, 2 and 3 here at Snetterton as they head down the straight for the first time, and there is big pressure going on here as they come down into the S's, and Bugner's attacking the outside. Can he hang on to this? Hasn't quite got the momentum, tucks back in, but Bugner giving notice of intent that he does not want to settle for P2 here.
That was tight. I mean, it's a pretty clean first corner. I think there was one car headed off towards the Sunday market, but other than that, they're looking pretty good.
Yeah, that's good evocative comment, that, because there is a good market. Yeah, I think they started digging the hotel out now as well.
Just remember the Sunday market that come out of nowhere. I don't know why I was thinking of that, but there we go.
Yes, an evocative comment. I like that. Gabe Norso leads at the end of lap 1. Scott Bugner P2. Kieran Haynes in the mix as well in 3rd. Norse is going to hope that Haynes and Bugner get stuck in and dice with each other, which is pretty much what they were doing, but Bugner back into P2. Haynes has dropped back a little bit, and this is allowing Bugner to get his nose in front momentarily as he looks round the outside here. Is he going to be able to chop back in side by side for the race lead? There's a little bit of contact, and the pair of them go off, and into the lead goes Kieran Haynes, the 3rd place man in the championship. Well, there was a sense of inevitability about that. Bugner was really looking to try and get into the lead early doors, and it's Haynes now from Ollie Atkins. Are we going to see a maiden podium from Ollie Atkins here? Remember, this is his best meeting so far, Ollie Atkins, and he's up on a potential podium position, not a reversed grid position for him. He's earned this, and he's up in P2 ahead of Paul Laramie, who we're on board with now, looking back at Thomas Potter, who could be a big scorer in this one as well.
It's really difficult to go too wide through onto the back straight there. It looks wide enough, but then again, the racing line's really narrow there, so yeah, not enough room for 2 there.
Yeah, I feel a little bit sorry. We'd have to watch the footage when it all gets uploaded tomorrow and see what happened. But you know, by and large, you're probably saying that is it going to be Scott Bugner the attacker? Well, Ian Danaher and Rich Hayden will be looking at that, and Scott Bugner's back on the case, and he's trying to, or he has actually already dealt with Thomas Potter, and has made up a position. And Gabe Norse 9th at the moment, with Luke Cooper in 10th place. But do not discount Gabe Norse unless he's got damage, virtual damage on the car. But it's Kieran Haynes out front. Kieran was P2 in the championship after the first round, and will be well happy here to make hay and build up a little bit of a lead over Ollie Atkins. I would say Ollie probably the slightly less experienced of the pair, no disrespect meant at all, but this is as high as he's run, and he's earned that position. So for me, this is absolutely justified the new format that we've got.
Yeah, he's really going well here. What's the gap at the front is 1.5 seconds for Kieran Haynes, which is quite a handy gap really, but you never know. There's some quick guys there that have still got 16 minutes to chip away at that.
Jack Smith, we are looking at the moment as well, is in 5th place, so he's made good progress here. Chris Blakey behind him, then Thomas Potter and Lee Pearcey. Gabe Norse in 9th with Luke Cooper. Wherever you look, really class drivers in the mix, as Thomas Potter looks down the outside of Chris Blakey. Let's see whether he can get the job done as he goes through Riches, trying to... This is a really good fast shot here. You can see Thomas up ahead of Lee Pearcey. Lee's still trying to get stuck in as well. Hasn't got his drafting buddy at the moment though, and he'll want to try and get on terms with Scott Bugner, who's in P4. So this is Chris Blakey in front of us. You can see behind we've got Lee Pearcey. Yellow darts out of the slipstream, and he's going to have a look and try and draw himself level, see whether he can get the job done on the inside. No, he's not going to, because Thomas Potter nips down the inside. Is it going to be 3 wide here into the S's? This could end into his potentially. No, they sort themselves out, and Thomas Potter gets the move, but they're still side by side, and Chris Blakey hanging on round the outside, but can't quite do it. Thomas Potter consolidates 6th position.
That looked pretty tight there. They did well to sort of unravel wheels there, and I don't think they made any contact at all, which was brilliant, because that looked really sketchy at one point.
Yeah, that was good stuff, wasn't it? So Kieran Haynes, I'll tell you what, Ollie Atkins here is keeping him honest. It's still only 2 seconds, and 1.1 down to Scott Bugner in 3rd. Haynes gets the fastest lap. Open track for the youngster who gets the fastest lap, really making his lead count, isn't it, at this stage? And he's got a good cushion here, realistically. And again, no disrespect to Ollie Atkins, but Kieran Haynes will be thinking that he doesn't want to see Scott Bugner in his mirrors. He'll probably be happy that Ollie Atkins, on his first potential podium here, is the car behind him. And it's 2.2 now. It's gone out a little bit more as we get some good order bouncing going on there with Gabe Norse up now ahead of Lee Piercy into 8th position. Norse in the red and white car will line up Chris Blakey. He's got a bunch of cars behind him. Let's see what Norse can do as they come down the straight. 3 wide here. Norse is the second car out in this group and makes a little bit of contact with Chris Blakey wheel to wheel and makes up the position, goes through on the inside of Lee Piercy.
That's all happening at the S's at the moment, isn't it? That seems to be the place where everything's going on. I just think if Kieran Haynes can do another couple of low 114s, he might be able to make a break here, bigger than he's got at the moment. It's 2.4 at the minute, just under. Yeah, another couple of low 114s could see him away here.
Yeah, he's doing a good job, isn't he? This is exactly what you need to do. And yeah, qualified or lined up 3rd on the grid with 2 good solid race 1s and 2s. He's going to get some decent points here. Ollie Atkins still in P2, which is good stuff. Just going to, if I dare turn away from the screen for a moment, look at Ollie Atkins' results and put a little bit of perspective for you on what this driver's been doing. The first round, Brands Hatch GP, 29th, 23rd and 22nd. He was in the 27, 21, 23 at Oulton Park. And then at Silverstone, jumped up into the middle of the pack, effectively 2/14th and an 11th. And then last time out, not so good in race 1, but 10th and a 12th, so jumped up into the top 10 for the first time. And now earning podium pace, Ollie Atkins in P2. This is what we want. It's about driver progression, getting used to it, learning all the time, and he's doing a superb job at the moment. 2.3 down at the moment on Kieran Haynes out front. Kieran doing a sterling job. He was our driver of the round last Tuesday. And now I'm just going to have a look. How far back is Potter from Bugnet at the moment? We're busy looking at Paul Laramie. So down the straight we go again. 2.36 is the gap. Gabriel Norse now the fastest driver on track with a 1:22. Oh, that was his last day. 1:22.308, according to my timing screen. Let's go back. Haynes still the race leader as we watch Lee Piercy trying to close in on Jack Smith. So Jack's lost a bit of ground here on Thomas Potter. Thomas in a fairly strong 4th place at the moment. We're getting in towards half distance. So what are the drivers' thoughts going to be here, Wayne, as they get into the second half of this final race of the evening?
Well, for Kieran Haynes, he'll try. He's banging in consistent low 114s, which is really keeping the gap as it is. Ollie Atkins, when you've given his results there from the early rounds, this is a brilliant performance because he's catapulted up from where he was in the early races, and he's just keeping it pretty constant. He's just dropping away a touch on this lap, but if he can get a podium here, he'll want every round at Snetterton, won't he?
He probably will. It's the circuit that everybody hated in Legends was Anglesey, and that's where we are next time out. So that'll be interesting to get people's opinions or otherwise on Anglesey. I personally love Anglesey, great venue and a great track, and it's always. You feel like you've been somewhere, don't you, for the weekend when you go to Anglesey? So very much looking forward to the various events we've got there this year. But on board with Thomas Potter, closing in on Scott Bugner here. Are we going to see a triple podium for Scott Bugner this evening? Will there be a judicial on his move on Gabriel Norse earlier on in the meeting, or is Thomas Potter going to get past him and deny him an on-track podium? This is certainly what Thomas wants to do. And of course, the key thing here for Thomas Potter is he's dicing the championship leader.
Yeah, he's got nothing to lose, has he? Everything's a gain. Scott's probably thinking, I'll try and keep my nose clean here, just grab some more points, because he's got a bit of a gap up ahead, so he'll just try and bag some points from 3rd. But his mirrors are full at the moment, and Thomas Potter's really putting him under pressure here coming into the chicane last corner.
I hate using the phrase, but Thomas Potter's looking a bit racy at the moment, isn't he?
I'm not a fan of that one either. I've tried not to use it. I don't think I have.
No, the person who used it was Lawrence Tomlinson when he used to come and co-commentate on Ginetta with us, and he goes, "You're looking really racy at the moment." And I don't know, it's just funny when Lawrence said it to me. But yeah, it's not the best phrase in the world, but he's looking sharp, I think, is Thomas, and having a good look at Scott Bugner. And this is certainly occupying them. And Ollie Atkins, I think, got the pace to stay ahead of these two anyway. But this is helping his cause for second place for sure.
Yeah, definitely. He's doing a great job. I mean, like you say, where is he? 20 in the low 20s, wasn't he, at the first round?
Yeah.
But he's, looks a different driver here for sure.
To find out what the secret is, whether it's practice or maybe some new kit. Thomas Potter trying to close up again. Thomas, who's got a really good, strong social media following, and it's difficult, isn't it? You know, when you've got that as a young driver in the sim world, and it puts a lot of pressure on him when he goes into the Fiesta Junior Championship, for this season, because there's going to be a very high expectation for him. But one thing that you tend to know about Thomas is that he'll learn from whatever is thrown at him, and that's the absolute key thing. And I don't think the expectation should be too much, because he's only just, as I say, old enough to come into junior racing now. So whatever he does this season is going to be character building and learning opportunity for him as we drop back a little bit further down the order and pick up with Miles Ragg and Luke Cooper. Luke looking to try and have a move down the inside. Didn't quite work out for him. And Luke already, as we heard at the start of the programme, very much into coaching his young guns in karting this year already, which is good to see. It's a bit of a queue now, isn't it, actually, for this battle with...
Potter's got through. He's going for an outside lunge here.
He is, and he's teed that up pretty well, actually, as Scott Bugner and Jack Smith in there. Watch Jack Smith now, the first of the yellow and blue cars. Is he's got great racecraft as Jack Smith normally, and he looks down the inside of Thomas Potter here, and Jack Smith. This is the Jack Smith that we know very well. We'll give him a decent. Well, give him any starting place, and he'll just chip his way through car by car. Thomas Potter drops down to 6th place. Jack Smith here has got the whiff of a podium in his nostril. I haven't even looked at the clock so far, Wayne. 7 minutes to go, and Scott Bugner in his sights. This is, multiple champion chasing current championship leader.
Yeah, and Thomas Potter there, you feel for him a bit, because he lost 3 places in about 2 corners. He just got edged out, and then you leave a door. Well, he didn't leave the door open. He just got edged out a tiny bit, and through they went. And Kieran Haynes at the front has done a 14 dead, I believe, for the fastest lap. So he's now got nearly a 5-second lead.
Kieran Haynes away, and down the road he won race 3, which was a reverse grid race at Brands Hatch GP. And super start from that 3rd slot on the grid. As we continue to watch the battle for 3rd, it's still Scott Bugner, championship leader, having to defend from VRRC, multiple champion. He's the reigning champion, actually, because he won the Legends Cars Esports Championship with us last time out, the Scottish Legends Cars Esports Championship. And just as a reminder, we'll be seeing the Scottish Legends on 2 touring car meetings this year, which is really exciting. I can't wait to see them. The Nationals will be with us at Donington Park, where they had their press day today. So looking forward to seeing 3 helpings of Legends cars this year with touring cars. As the battle for 3rd continues. Now, what is Jack Smith going to do here? Is he just going to keep putting the pressure on Scott Bugner, or is he going to have a move and have a dive around the outside? At the moment, I just get the feel he's trying to size him up.
I think he can smell the podium. I think, as the old saying goes, it's rostrum or bails. We'll see what happens.
It'll be rostrum for Jack. Very rarely bails for Jack Smith. He's been an absolute star. And as I've said, I make no apology for saying it again, definitely not seen the best of him in Formula Ford 1600. And maybe that's a good thing for him, because it kind of means he doesn't have too much pressure at the moment, as we watch Gabe Norse having a go at Lee Pearcey. So Gabe recovering here. He's in 7th, not losing that many points again on Scott Bugner. If he can get past Lee Pearcey here, he can have a little nibble at Thomas Potter in front of him as well. And those two we've already seen have a good battle. But back to Jack Smith and Scott Bugner fighting it out for this podium position. It's still Kieran Haynes from Ollie Atkins, P1 and 2. 5 minutes to go. And let me have a look at my Discord chat, see whether we've got any thoughts on who might be driver of the round. See, Steve is. Steve says he was just going to ask that. I think I might know where Wayne and myself might be going on this one, and we'll do it like Premiership football style, as I do a match of the day when we get towards the end. Any thoughts on driver of the round so far, Wayne?
Well, yes. One guy in this race has really thrown his hat in the ring. To be honest, I won't say any more. But
Yeah, I think I know where you're going on that. Gabe Norse was throwing his hat in the ring there, and yeah, shame for Gabe. Was trying to get up and get involved in this battle, but winds up going off. And I can see why Gabe might be frustrated with what happened earlier on in the race, as Luke Cooper and Thomas Potter, two great names. How good is it, Wayne, to see the likes of Thomas Potter, who I've known for a long time, VRRC, racing here? You know, yeah, it's on the sim, but he's racing with Luke Cooper, an absolute Formula Ford hero for me.
Yeah, Luke's been around. He's won lots of races, lots of championships, and yeah, to see a young kid like Thomas hanging on the back of him here, it's good to see. And it'd be really interesting when he jumps into Fiestas to see how he goes, because as you say, social media is great, but sometimes it can be a double-edged sword where you get a bit of too much pressure on you. But he's just got to go out there and just get some laps under his belt and enjoy it.
That's the key, isn't it? Yeah, don't stress if he's too far down. One of the key drivers I've looked at from the last couple of years was Daniela Sutton, who won the first Fiesta Junior scholarship, and I think Daniela put a lot of pressure on herself in year one, and I think she was disappointed with the results. But she had a good year last year, and you know they've worked really hard. The family have worked really hard. Daniela's worked really hard, and they're going to be doing some F4 or FIA F4 racing next year here in the UK. Because they've taken it step by step, taken a deep breath when they've needed to, enjoyed it as best they can, and that's the key, isn't it? Try and not relax, but you just try and enjoy it and see what happens.
It's really difficult. It's a difficult balancing line between enjoying it, because everybody wants to go and win, don't they? But there's only one winner. Some weekends go well, some don't, and it's difficult to, and the expenditure as well when you're doing real world racing. Obviously, there's a lot of money involved, and you really want the most value for what you've put into it, but sometimes it doesn't work like that. From the outside looking in, it's easy to comment like that, but when you're behind the wheel, it's you just want to do the best you can without any problems, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly it. Seen so many youngsters getting frustrated over the years that not being able to do it. Now Miles Ragg here having a go at Lee Pearce. He's going to look down the inside. Ragg up into 5th place. Miles Ragg, he's another consistent and fast driver. Super job from him. Lee Pearcey trying to come back at him, goes on the outside run here. So we'll see whether Lee can get in. Scott Bugner still defending from Jack Smith. Scott's done some really good defensive stuff here as well in this race. We've got 6 seconds now, the gap. Kieran Haynes has got his head down, super stuff. Ollie Atkins, really good, safe and secure 2nd position. 1 minute 48 on the clock. So we'll see how many laps this goes down to. But you know, this is a key battle for me. 2 champions from VRRC, Virtual Reality Racing Club, battling it out, and Scott Booth. This shows how close the cars are on the setup, so I think, Wayne, how closely these two have been racing.
It does be interesting to see if Jack Smith really saves it up for the last lap and has an absolute banzai attempt somewhere. he's just sizing him up here, isn't he?
He seems to be, yeah. Maybe that's the key. Maybe that's, you know, go a little bit later as he comes down centre straight. Well, we've got 1:11, 1:10 on the clock, so this should be now onto the last lap with Kieran Haynes there. And what is it you said, Wayne Pearson? That's why you're here. Fastest lap, Jack Smith.
The 13.8, that is tramping on. Yeah, he's definitely going to have a go here at some point. Where would I think? Possibly into the S's. Yeah, I would say the end of this straight.
And so, depending on judicials, he might get 3rd anyway. It depends what Ian Danaher and co think of the coming together between Gabriel Norse and Scott Bugner earlier on in the race. We'll leave that to them and let you know what happens next week. But in the meantime, we get a quick look at Kieran Haynes, who is out front. Back to Jack Smith putting the pressure on. Doesn't happen into the S's. He's going to get a line through here. He's not really in attacking mode at the moment. He's trying to build up momentum. I would say Murray's is going to be a brave shout. Meanwhile, we go back to Kieran Haynes. This has been an exemplary drive from Kieran. Races 1 and 2 were built very well indeed. Good solid finishes. Put him in a good grip position for race 3, and he's made the most of that superbly. Kieran Haynes comes down towards the, towards the checkered flag, but he just goes on to another lap here. So Kieran's got to do another lap, and that's probably good news for Jack Smith.
I think there's about a second there, wasn't it, between the...
It was, yeah.
Here we go.
I thought I'd called it wrong, but yeah, we've got seconds or so to go.
There we go. Smith's just got his nose ahead.
Is he going to be able to hang on to... He's... Oh! Bugner fighting back. Smith's going to have the inside run as they go onto the Revit straight, and Bugner's back in front again. cracking battle between these two.
Definitely, this is who's going to blink first at the end of the straight here. Let's see. Smith's right in the toe. He's going to go the long way round, or Bugner's making him go the long way round. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, Super Smith's having a go, and he's done it. He went for the outside run. Is he going to run wide here? There's a little bit too much momentum, and Scott Bugner's going to repay the favour on the inside. No, he isn't, because Jack Smith just gets across as Kieran Haynes exits Murray's for the last time, and will come down centre straight and does his little wiggle, a celebration move down the straight to take the checkered flag. It was 7 seconds clear. Congratulations, Kieran Haynes takes another win. Third in the championship, Kieran Haynes coming into this meeting. It's going to be Ollie Atkins with a superb second position. Jack Smith gets third. I'll tell you what, he needed that extra lap, didn't he? He went for it the lap before, but Jack Smith in third, and in fourth position it was Scott Bugner ahead of Thomas Potter and Lee Pearcey. Cracking way to end our evening as we look at Cian Haig back in I think 23rd position. Just busy writing down our top three, but good to have a new name on the podium. Thoughts on your first three races commentating with us, Wayne?
Do you know what? I really enjoyed that, and thanks for having me along. Yeah, the battle there, Jack Smith, just like you say, got that extra lap in. There's about a second between Kieran Haynes going over the line and the flag about to be dropped, and it never happened. And Scott Bugner will be kicking the timing people there for obviously it's not their fault, but he just needed to see that flag, and he's lost P3 there. So we'll see obviously with the collision earlier in the race what happens with that. But it's a shame for Gabriel Norse as well. But Ollie Atkins drove superbly for second. He'll be really pleased with that. It's a shame he didn't get too much camera time there, because there was a lot of battles going on elsewhere, wasn't there?
Yep. And who are we going for driver of the round?
I'm going for Ollie Atkins. Just on that
improvement
over the rounds is to get a second is fantastic.
I'll go with that as well. Thanks very much, Wayne. Just going to run down the rest of the positions. So where did we get to? I think all the positions are disappearing off me. The chart here. So apologies for not being able to give the rundown of the result for everybody, but we're going to get into an ad break, and we'll have our driver of the round and top three interviews in just a moment. Please stay with us. Final podium interviews of the evening, and we're going to start off with the man who very often is on the top step of the podium. But in terms of Formula Ford, I think 100% record of getting on the podium at least once every round so far is Jack Smith. Well done, Jack. Nice to see you on the podium.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, decent last race there, which was nice. So, yeah, really happy that me and Scott tried to catch up to Ollie in front, but he was just a bit too far ahead. So, yeah, it was fun just working with Scott trying to catch up. It was a highlight of my evening, I think. So, yeah, quality.
And then pipped him on the last lap. We thought it was going to be one lap shorter, but you know, Kieran was if he'd have backed off a little bit on the penultimate lap, there would have been one lap less.
Yeah, no, I thought it was going to be that lap as well, and then it ended up being another. I was like, oh, we've got another chance, because I'd gone off previously on that last lap, so I thought I'd done it. Oh, that was it. So, but yeah, no, really happy to have that last lap, and yeah, we got it done round the outside. Yeah, it was a quality move. Scott gave me loads of room, and it was like, yeah, it was proper. It was really good racing. So yeah, mega bit of racing from Scott there. It's always good racing against him. He's a quality driver. He's so like respectful on the track and stuff. So it's always a pleasure racing Scott.
What's it like going into the third race of the evening and then being top scorers off the front, as opposed to, I know some of the other championships we do qualifying for each round, so you're on the front at the start of the meeting, but in this one, obviously scored well in races 1 and 2, and is that easier? I mean, is it is it more physical coming through the grid when you've done 3 races?
I mean, you've just got to make sure that you get the points in the first 2, and then you're sorted really. But it's all, every race for me is like working through the grid. I'm just trying to keep out of incidents at the first lap, and yeah, it's just trying to keep clean in lap 1, and it seems to be really hard in these. I don't know what I need to do different, but yeah, I just seem to be getting tangled in incidents all the whole time. And yeah, I check the replays after every session. I was saying this to Jack. I was just like, I don't know what I need to do. I don't know what I need to do different. I'm just a passenger.
You're still there. I mean, you missed the first round because you were poorly, and then coming into this week, you were in 5th place. I think maybe you've overtaken Ollie tonight in the championship. We'll have to, you're there or thereabouts. And I made the comment earlier on in the races that it wouldn't surprise me, when we get to Brands Hatch Indy, if you're knocking on the door of the the top step of the points.
Yeah, I mean, I'll try my best to get there, and yeah, it's just when you tally up all the points that I've actually lost, I think I would have been there or thereabouts already. It's just it's one of them. It's racing at the end of the day, isn't it? So, yeah, but you just got to keep your head in it, and you end up getting a podium at the end of it. So yeah, that's just what you got.
Yeah, you're actually up to 4th, mate. Just looking at the points now, you're 4th now.
Cool, interesting. It's going to get very interesting towards the end, isn't it? So
we've got Scott Bugner leading, Gabe Norse 2nd, Kieran Haynes 3rd, you're 4th, Luke Cooper, and then Ollie with Lee Piercy next. So yeah, so it's there's a lot to play. We're only just into the second half of the campaign as well, so all to play for.
Yeah, no, 100%, mate. And yeah, and I mean, these cars are great fun to drive. They're so like loose and stuff, and it's a very different kind of racing than we're used to here. So it's it's quality bit of kit to race around in, and the guys are loving it. I know me and Scott and Ollie are definitely loving it. It's just
good.
Well, yeah, Scott strangely, I think he actually really likes him. He's used to his front wheel drive, isn't he? So
yeah, I've even stopped saying that now because it got a bit cliched. But he's doing really well at it, isn't he? And he's just good whatever you put him in, as are you.
No, yeah, 100%. It's nice to see him at the top, to be honest. I'm like Scott's biggest fan, so it's nice to see him leading it. It's quality. So
Director Steve will know where I'm coming from, but splendid fellows, all of you. He'll know that quote. But yeah, you're all good guys. Yeah, good to see you, Jack. Well done on getting a podium. We'll catch you next week on Anglesey.
Yeah, cheers, mate. And just quick shout out to my parents and Hop Cavern lot that were watching down at the pub. So yeah, shout out to Leo. I've seen him in the chat, so yeah, big shout out to him, and then shout out to my girlfriend.
Have a beer for us, guys.
I know he gave me a free one last time, so yeah.
Oh, very good. Nice one. Well done, Jack Smith. Great, always great to talk to you on the podium. Very, very well done on 3rd place and getting up to 4th in the championship too. We'll see you next time.
Cheers, Richard. Appreciate it.
Jack Smith, and we're going to move on to 2nd position. Our first chat with Ollie Atkins. And Ollie, first of all, congratulations on 2nd position. Obviously, best result in the campaign was last week, so this progression has just got better and better. Congratulations on that. Tell us a bit about your background.
Thank you. Well, I was recently diagnosed with epilepsy, so I had big plans for all my go-karting, but I am unable to participate for a year.
Yeah.
So that's a bit of a sad thing, but I can still sim race, so I am happy, and this is just my little happy place. So
that's some. First of all, I'm sorry to hear you got that diagnosis, but is it under control? Are they treating you well?
Yeah, it's all under control now, so.
That's good. And what are the chances do you think I mean, obviously, first of all, how old are you?
I am 14.
So you're one of the younger drivers. And what brought you into the championship? How did you get involved? Are you part of the Castle Coombe Brigade, or?
just looking for simulator stuff to do because I'm quite into simulator stuff. So just looking for stuff to do, and then this championship popped up, so I was like, oh, this looks fun. So my first championship, I'm looking to do the next one as well. So
oh, great stuff. Well, thank you for joining, and thanks for sharing your story with us. Obviously wish you well, with your ongoing treatment of that, and hopefully I had my best mate back in the day was diagnosed with epilepsy as well, and he was able to sort of go on and road drive. He was never into racing, but if you need any support in terms of what you can do, by all means reach out to me, and we'll put you in with the right people if you need that support later on. But obviously 14, it's a bit of a while before you end up going on the road, isn't it?
Yeah, thank you very much.
No, that's okay. So what's the secret? What's got you from, we were looking at the results, and you've really climbed the heights over the last couple of rounds. What's the secret to that?
I'm not really sure. I think it's mainly just trying to avoid the carnage of lap 1 and stay consistent on lap times as well. Because it's not about being the quickest, it's about being the most consistent. Because if you're consistent, then you'll probably be on the pace with most of the people anyway. So, it's just, I think consistency is key.
That's good. I'm just looking at the car now, and you've got, is it Oasis something on there? What is that, your sponsor?
Yeah, Oasis Bar and He-Man dual controls. And
okay, tell us about those.
So Oasis Bar is owned by my grandparents.
Nice.
So they were helping me get it started, but He-Man are, so in driving tests you've got the dual controls. He-Man are manufacture them, and they've had a couple cars from Mercedes-Benz World, places like that have put pedals in their cars, so they're pretty cool. Pod, they are a car dealership, so they sell cars.
Excellent. So good bit of promotion for them, and nice livery as well, I've got to say, really good. And the other thing I very nearly forgot to say, you are a driver of the round, so well done. It's popped up on screen, so congratulations. Really superb effort the last couple of rounds, and tonight as well. The results that you've got. For me, it's exciting because normally a new driver would get a first podium from a reverse grid race, but you've bucked that trend. You've actually gone out, built yourself 2 really good races to score well, get a good position to start off from in our 3rd race, and have done it on speed rather than being given a false hope kind of thing. So really well done, really good.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. I hope it's the first of many podiums, but thank you for racing with us at VRRC, Ollie, and glad to hear you signing up for the next championship as well. And hopefully it'll be the first of many interviews that we get to do with you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Ollie. All the best, and we'll see you next week.
Yep.
So that's Ollie Atkins, our driver of the round and also 2nd position. And we now move to last week's driver of the round, which was Kieran Haynes, who again drove a textbook race there. Well done, Kieran. Nice to talk to you again. Congratulations on the win. Relatively straightforward?
Thank you. Straightforward. I would have said it was straightforward, but at the start, Scott and Gabrielle just tangled, which let me just drive off. And of course, I was quick in practice, so I was just like, I gotta get my practice laps in. My best lap in practice was a 13.9, and I think I was the only driver in the 13.9s. So I was just trying to represent that lap and just go up off the road and just drive my race.
What was your view on the incident between Scott and Gabe? You might not remember it now because it was, a good 25 minutes ago. But can you recall what happened?
I thought it was great. Because they just let me win the race. But I just seen them side by side in turn 2, and of course around this track it's never good going around side by side, so I just knew they were going to make contact at some point, and I was just waiting for the perfect time to slot through.
That's good. And this evening now you've got bragging rights over Mason. I mentioned earlier on, I mean, Luke Cooper very kindly sort of filled me in on what happened at the weekend, that you both won your 3 heats and Mason Turner got the final, but you've got bragging rights on the sim this evening.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you two? So are you two teammates in the karts as well?
Yeah.
So it's a friendly rivalry, not a sort of out and out rivalry.
Yeah. They can say that. Yeah.
Yeah. Have you done any testing on Anglesey? Because we've got Anglesey next time out. Nobody's joined the server yet. I don't know if the server's quite ready, but have you done anything on Anglesey yet?
No, I didn't even know this track when I first come on. I straight line turned 1 on my first lap. So, yeah.
Oh, wow.
I need to do some practice.
Well, it's good, and I'm guessing nice to have a Welsh track in the calendar for you.
I don't even know it's Welsh. Yeah.
It's the other end. It's up north, but it's a good track. But yeah, I guess Pembrey will be a good place to get to at some point. But actually, I don't know if we had any VRRC stuff at Pembrey. I'll have to nag Rich Hayden about that. But anyway, that completes our podium interviews. Kieran, lovely to chat to you. Well done on another win. A great drive. And are you karting this weekend?
Yeah, I'm karting at Castle Coombe again for round 2. I'm not going to say it looks easy, but hopefully come away here with a win.
Nice one. Well, good luck with that, and hopefully you get a chance to tell us all about it next Tuesday. Kieran Haynes, well done on the win, and great to talk to you again.
Thank you very much.
So Kieran Haynes, our winner from Ollie Atkins, who takes driver of the round. Jack Smith, the winner of the 3rd place podium for race 3. Got to start on the thank yous now. We look forward to Anglesey Circuit next week. We'll be joined by Callum Grant, so we're going to have another great co-commentator sorted out by Alan Bowles. Thank you, Alan, for putting everything together. And a big thank you to Wayne Pearson. Been an absolute pleasure, Wayne. Thank you so much for coming and doing it. And as I've said to everyone that's done this, please come back and do it again with us.
I'd love to. Yeah, I've really enjoyed it. Some great racing. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how everyone goes at Anglesey, won't it? It's a bit different to Snetterton.
It is, yeah, and I keep saying it every time I see you, but I need to dig my slides out and scan them for your group.
Yes, we'll meet you at some point, and we'll do an exchange. I've got a scanner as well, so I can get them sorted for you. Not a problem at all.
No, so I've got a scanner. I just never get time to doing it. But yeah, we'll sort something. I'll definitely ping the odd picture on, and they're not great shots like you've been posting, but hopefully of interest to some of the Formula Ford 1600 aficionados, just to see some pictures from the past. When I was standing on the banks. But yeah, Wayne, been a real pleasure. Thanks so much, mate. Take care of yourself, and we'll catch up soon.
Thanks, Richard. Thanks again.
And thanks to broadcaster director Steve Allen. Ian Danner has got all the work to do tomorrow with Rich Hayden. Thanks everybody for watching. Be nice to each other. We'll see you with Callum Grant next Tuesday when we're racing at Anglesey. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.
Between the two of them,
The inside of Coates.
Parker gets too heavily involved.
And that's Whitehead and Coates.